I'm gonna teach you how to turn a $2 bag of carrots into a gourmet side meal. My name is Chef Mikhail Anthony, and this is Crave to Create. So, before we get started, I want you to go ahead and give this a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down. Either way, engage with my content. That helps push my channel into the algorithms. So, what you can do is you can peel your carrots. Personally, I prefer not to because there's a lot of nutrients in that carrot, and you want as much as you can get. When you cook it, it loses some of those nutrients. So the more you have, the less chance that you're gonna lose all of the nutrients. All right, so what I like to do is I just give them a little rinse. So I'll go in to the sink and do that. Okay, so I got some carrots here, and what you wanna do is just kind of cut them all at once, you know, not all of them, but you know, a couple at a time. You know, 2 or 3 at a time. So I cut at the very tip, so I can cut as most. I cut it at the very tip so I could use as much as the carrot as possible. All right. So if I were just gonna chop these for puree or something, I would cut them all down. But I want to. Well, I mean, you can cut it. I'm gonna cut them in half, so I can cut a couple at once, right? So in half there. All right. Now I'll move down to 1 at a time. Just gonna cut it down there. That really all depends how thick you want the carrots. So I'm gonna go quarters. All right. It's nice little carrots. All right. All right. Might need a more heavy duty chef knife. So let's quarter the carrots. These aren't the sweetest carrots, so when we're cooking, you can add a pinch of sugar or not, but the natural caramelization will help with that. Quarter the thick ends. I'm just going to half the thinner parts here, right? So I'll just run my knife down the center and cut. I feel like carrots are an unappreciated vegetable. They're very versatile. They go with almost everything. And I think the nice $2 bag of carrots is always overlooked. It's usually used for like mirepoix when making stocks or sauces, and then chefs like to garnish their plates with like the little pretty carrots and the heirloom carrots, which I get. I totally understand. But if you want a nice little side dish on your menu or at home, you know, you have family over, a bunch of people, just get the $2 bag. It takes a little bit more prep time. You could roast them in the oven, or you can cook them off in a pan, you know, and just let them slowly caramelize and it becomes form of nuttiness, and little sugars start to come out, and then you can add all the spices you want, and that's what we're gonna do here. Okay, so other than, all right, we're good. All right, other than cutting the carrots, I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm using some dry spices, right? A little butter. So I'm already ready. I've gathered all of my ingredients, my mise en place, and as soon as the pan comes up to temp, which will be fairly fast with this unit here, or if you're on a burner, I would start with like medium heat and just kind of let them cook and let the sugars come out. Always season them with salt and pepper. You know, well, salt if you want, pepper, the spice in your food. You know, add a little pepper. So I'm gonna put these flesh side down kind of like nice and the flat part, right? Kind of just let that surface area come together. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, any pan, anything you're cooking ever, because what that does is the food will just sit on top of each other and steam, and you don't want steam. We want that caramelization to come about, and then you want to just slowly add them, because anytime you add cold to hot, it's going to lower the temperature, and you're not going to get that cook that you want. All right. You can do this on a plancha, flat top surface. You know, spread them out nice and neat on a sheet tray. Toss them with the ingredients, right? And then throw them in the oven. There's a couple ways to get here. Our carrots are ready to turn here. As you see, there's a little caramelization, a little browning going on. That adds flavor, right? So I'm turning the carrots. I don't want them too soft. I like a little crunch. I have teeth still. No offense if you don't. But alright, so I have some cumin and smoked paprika here. Gonna put a little bit of that in. That kind of coat. A little za'atar, but we'll garnish with that as well. Some garlic. Alright. And some butter. I'll saute those, and all those flavors are gonna marry now. The butter is gonna add a nice richness and sweetness as well. I walked out and came back in, and even before I put all the seasoning, it just smelled so good in here. Alright. So now we'll turn down the heat and just kind of let them meld together and slowly roast those flavors. Kind of permeate and try to coat the carrots. Alright. We're not taking all this butter and oil with us. We're just taking the carrots out. So we'll dress those up with a little bit of za'atar, some feta, and some parsley, because that's what I have. And it's gonna be delicious. Za'atar is a Middle Eastern spice. Probably add a little sumac to that as well. If you don't have them, that's fine. Cumin is accessible, smoked paprika is accessible, you know, and there's some white sesame seeds in here. That's super accessible. But if you can find za'atar seasoning and sumac, I definitely recommend using it like often. All right, so you see here how they bend. Just broke. Looks good to me. Let's plate it up. Okay, so I only made a little bit, so we don't need a lot right now. Kind of stagger them a bit if you want. It's a nice, perfect little side dish, you know. Have a friend over, a couple friends, make a little more. All right. Plate it up. Just little broken pieces here. Go that way. Looks so good. Man, if you want to get gangster, you could even turn this into a little vinaigrette. Let it cool down, add a little vinegar, or it could be a warm vinaigrette. Add a little acid. Shoot, I'm gonna do that. Okay, some vinegar here. So this is the cooking oil, butter, some of the spices. Add a little vinegar. Give a little shaky shake. Woo. Oh man, that vinegar already smells bomb. So I like to finish with vinegar in my sauces and whatever I'm cooking anyways, but okay. Good. Now we got a warm vinaigrette. Okay. Yeah. It's really coated. The acid's gonna complement any sweetness and any slight nutty bitterness from cooking the carrots. Alright. A little bit of feta. Yeah. So I didn't put too much salt because this feta is gonna add a nice little saltiness. Parsley. Some freshness. And then sumac. I mean the za'atar, excuse me. I ate the sumac. Is it up here? It's up here. Sumac. Spiceology. It's where I get my spices. I recommend it. Not a sponsor. Alright, okay. Yeah. Anything I ever cook with, I use spices. Most time it's gonna be Spiceology. So if you want the exact recipe, you want the exact ingredients that I'm using, Spiceology.co. Not com, .co. Cool. Here you have it. I turned $2 bag of carrots into a gourmet meal. Now this isn't even the whole bag. So essentially this is like 25-30 cents just for me. And this is a nice side dish for like a protein or anything, or just eat the carrots as the main dish. Why not? You know, count them calories, you know, watch your weight. So here is cumin crusted roasted carrots. Sounds good, right? What do you think? Looks delicious? I think so. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, a thumbs down, subscribe, comment below, and keep cooking.